Scorp is easy once you get it, like once you understand how to do a button. So the first thing is Scorpbot's structured like this. The actually, let me know you're here before I actually keep talking, like wave in chat or something. Here we go. Okay, so this is Scorpbot. I keep Scorpbot in a cloud folder, that way it gets updated. But this is Scorp. Every sound you want needs to be in the SFX directory. And so like all my Darkest Dungeon stuff is here. So then what happens is you have to go to this tab, Audio, SFX, hit Reload. And that will populate this list, and it mirrors what's in this directory over here. So if that part's done, you're like, okay, cool. Then you need to go to Interactive. Interactive is pretty simple. You simply tell it which screen size you're building for, and I would say always start on a large screen because these buttons are going to be the same, medium and small. Those are just the different interfaces. So if tablets, medium, phones, small, that way you have buttons that work for all your viewers no matter where they're coming from. But let's just start with the large screen. So if I want to create a new button, I would just hit new. And the text would be Perm test button. Type is button. You can create labels as well. For instance, the informational is a label. There's no frame around it. It just puts the text on the screen. Text box is not really messed with because I mean, you can put a big run-on announcement in there if you want, like, and hey everybody, in my interactive page, here's a little thing that says I'll be on vacation next week. Anyway, button is what we're looking for. So this is the standard stuff. Cooldown seconds, 60 spark cost, how much it costs, 100. Permission, this says who can use it. Everyone is everyone in it that's watching. Regular, that has to do with the settings section of Scorp. So down here, my regulars they automatically go into this list after 5 hours. I use that for other things though. Buttons are always everybody. Cooldown group. The cooldown group just adds it to a group. So if you press 1, obviously all of them go into cooldown. And cooldown type is individual. So the way it works is you simply use this variable, SFX, and then you call the file you want. So let's go with this. I always just rename, copy the whole thing, paste it in there, and then you would hit save. Now that creates this button here. Now my interface is fully done, but so it's red. Why is it red? Should be on the board actually. Nope, there it is. It's red. Now it's green because I can move it around. It's not visible. It's enabled, but you don't see it on the board. If I hit visible, you would see it pop up, and then that button becomes usable. So beyond that, it's a matter of sizing. You'll see like this button here is 12 by 12. This button here is 12 by 5. This button here is 12 by 12. This button over here is 8 by 4. So that one, you create whatever size you want and then move it to where you want it, and then when you make it visible, you can no longer move it around. And if you press that button, which you can probably do right now if you get your mouse cursor in between the other ones, 'cause it's probably overlapping, it'll work.
All hail King KY!
There you go. That's how to make a button that makes a sound. Questions? I can show you some other stuff too while we're doing this. Hey, look at that, my timers. Let me turn those off while we're doing this. Edit that, save. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's exactly that. It's rinse and repeat. If you want to delete it, just make sure you have the button you want and hit delete, and it's gonzo. And then once you have these buttons set up the way you want, you can actually go into the medium interface and then rearrange them, and you can change their size here. So for instance, you'll see on my large interface, the Notice Me button is a 12 by 12, and on the medium interface, the Notice Me button is an 8 by 6, and you can rearrange them. I did this because I do have a lot of people on phones, and they wanted to be able to use interactives. That's pretty much it. Yeah, exactly. So go over here and go large. I actually have these set up to whisper people so it doesn't clutter the chat. So the Twitter one is whisper. $user is whomever pressed it. Hey, you're the one that activated me. You can keep up with me on Twitter at this link. And it goes back to them in a whisper, keeps my chat clean. Discord, this one is a public one, so at whomever you want to join the Outlaws, follow this link. Join BOCW. Now this is actually a really cool one. Actually, I need to update that. At user BOCW. That should also call a sound. I need to fix that. That should also do this. Random. Oh, nope. Should go here and then random list. No, it's there. Never mind. Just didn't scroll down. So you'll see here, because I wanted to show you this as an example. At user, and I actually want this one broadcast. So user BOCW is computer simulated EFED. Each wrestler you see has been created with bound loaded by a member of the Outlaws community. Would like to join the 18, blah, blah, blah. At the end, I call this variable. This variable is random list joinfx.txt. And that is actually up here in random list joinfx.txt. And you'll see, let me pull it over here. I only have one sound in there right now. I need to add some more, but that list is actually an embedded command. So for instance, how my random buttons work is awesome.txt is called by good things, and that's a long list. Yeah, that's exactly how I did You're Dead. Exactly how I did You're Dead. So, I mean, beyond that, you can get into like variables. Target always goes back to the person who pressed it, or I'm sorry, user always go back to the person who pressed it. Target, for instance, the command I did for you today, that is for the bonus. So command, because I'm calling a different command, tributes is a built-in command based off my currency. Add target, whomever we designate, so whoever you do bonus space at username. So it's commands necessary to call an embedded command. You can't have two commands in the response. So I'm using command to variabilize which command I want, and then I have a variable for the target within the command. That's how I did that one. Yeah, target is the at. So it'd be like if you were typing this in the actual chat, you would just go bonus at user, and it would give 1,000 tributes to the target, because its bonus is actually calling bang tributes space at. You can do lots of stuff with commands. I'm actually working on my own games. The variable list is over here. There's a ton of variables in Scorp, but this is usually where people are like, oh my god. I mean, you can, like, there's add points all. If you really wanted to like give everyone in the stream 100 noob cred, you could work with an add points all command or variable to give everybody stuff. But there's user, target, message, date, time, popping points, all kinds of how many hours, what game it is. SFX is always going to call a sound from that folder. GFX is a little different. I have graphics set up. This is just calling stuff from this folder, and I don't have the window open, but nor do I have it capturing. But these are just, this is, I would say, step 2 if you ever wanted to really mess with interactives that do video. You have to be streaming to see the buttons. No. So if I kill my stream right now, the buttons will still be there. So you can build without being online. And then just have, what I would honestly tell you to do is don't set your cooldowns. Set your cooldowns to 0 so that you can continually press them on the board. And make sure that free for caster is checked up here. That way you don't get charged any sparks for it. But that's how you would experiment and build. And like that information, once blank, that's a label. And that's why on the board on the right, it just says information without a border. You can do the other things. I know you like to keep your board clean, but if, say, for instance, you wanted to add an orange border or a yellow border to your buttons, you would just do it right here under border. You can just make it look more like PermaCorp. Background is the solid color, border is the border color.
These pandas are here to party.
Hey, Dr. Dead, yeah, how to do Scorpbot? Permanoob needs to change, or he's having problems with the system he currently uses to make his interactive buttons work, and they were down today. And I know he uses Scorpbot, so I was like, why don't we just do it there? And so I'm just showing him, you know, basically how to set them up. So what else do you need, Nudie? What else can I show you? Yeah, Dr. Death actually gets a text message when I go live, so that's probably why he's here. It is, yep. So what else can I show you, man? Cool. Yeah, so just hit me up if you have questions or something's not working. I'll jump in your stream and we can sort it out. I mean, especially if you want to send me a screen cap in a DM of how the Scorp is set, I could probably pinpoint what's wrong. But yeah, cool. Then I was glad I was able to show you and help out a little bit. And no worries, man. Always willing to help. But then I'm gonna go watch Adam versus Everything play. He's playing Torchless Blood Moon, Dr. Death. He's on like attempt number 20, and I think he's into the 30s in weeks. It's crazy, but that's where I'm heading. But yeah, I'll be here all night, Perm. If you run into any problems, I'll just pop over and do your channel and press buttons and stuff. Yep. Later, deuces. I'll talk to you guys later.